What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Hash Brown. Kind of weird lighting. This is on my front porch, smoking the Blizzak. Talk about family. So, family can either be a beneficial aspect in your life or a very demeaning aspect in your life. It just depends on your background. In my life, family has been kind of interesting. Well, first off, we'll get this out of the way. I'm not different, but kind of, what's the word? I was adopted, alright? So, let's see how it is. I'll tell you about my first family. My first family, my biological family. So, how it came to be. Alright, so I was born June 7th, 1996 to a young lady named Sherry. She had me 6 days after her 16th birthday. My father wasn't really involved too much. I was raised by my grandmother, who didn't let a lot of people come around. I was her baby. At the time, my mom, she's a teenager, so she's still going to school, partying, doing all that stuff. My dad, he had other kids, he had other relations with other women and stuff like that. So he was dealing with his other families and stuff like that, holding down other forts. He did all he could, My dad wasn't a deadbeat or anything like that. He'd leave gifts and stuff by the doorstep, stuff like that. My mom, she'd come and visit every now and then, but anyways, what happened was, around my 5th birthday, my pops passed in a car crash, and my grandma started getting really sick because of her diabetes. She had to go to the hospital. So it was me, my little sister. We started living with my mom and my aunt. And at the time, we were just going place to place, place to place, place to place, place to place, We were very scattered. And just one day, life's hard. My mom couldn't do it, and she gave me and my sister up. And the first foster home we went through is this army lady, and she's super strict, super duper duper fucking strict. We had to clean up and shit like that. We had to clean up the shit that was clean. It was ridiculous, Things didn't go very well with that home, so we went to another home, and ended up being a military family, and things were really good in that family. Things were very, very good at first. I thought that, I was gonna be able to, there's fucking moths and shit out here, so if I'm looking around and checking my shoulders and shit, there's moths out here. But things were good until their son, he started feeling a little bit jealous. He was around 12, 13 years old. I was 5. I guess it was just the lack of attention. He wasn't getting any attention anymore because he was the youngest. There was another kid that they had too. She was 16. They had an older daughter, but he wasn't getting a lot of attention, and he didn't like that. And he used to like beat me up and stuff like that. I was like 5, 6 years old. Kid's like 13 years old. And like I was a little ass kid, you know. Social worker found out. Went to the next home. And come to find out, the foster parents of that home were trying to keep my sister instead of me. Anyways, that's a long ass, that's another story. Went to the third home that I ended up getting adopted by. I remember this is the last one. My social worker told me she was retiring after that. I had this blue suitcase, I remember. And remember walking in, and the dude that would end up being my father opens the door. He goes, "What's your favorite team? Do you like sports?" I said, "Yeah, I like sports. You know, I love sports. I love sports. I've always loved sports." I told him my favorite teams were the Raiders and the Lakers. You know, I was born in California, Northern California, Salinas, California. Those are my favorite teams. The Warriors weren't doing anything back then, really. This is like 2003, 2004. So they sucked back then. Like, we sucked. You know, they sucked. Northern California didn't really have a good team. The Kings were alright. We had like Bibby and stuff like that, but the Lakers that was the team. But you know, my foster dad, he was from he's from Massachusetts. So him telling me, he said, "If you're gonna live in this house, you gotta be a Patriots fan and a Celtics fan." And I grew to really like those teams for a little bit of my life. I ended up transitioning back to the Raiders. I really don't got a basketball team, but that's unimportant. My adoptive mother, my first interaction with her, the house, the way it was set up is like you walked into the door. It was a nice ass neighborhood. You walked into the door, and then it was the living room, and then they had this piano. And whenever my adoptive father, he opened the door, and we had that conversation like I was saying, she was standing in the background by the piano. She was laying on the piano, and she was giving me this look, like a look that I would soon remember. Like, I just got a mental imprint of it, because I'd get this look later on in my life a lot. But it was more of like a look of like, oh, here we go again type look, you know. At that time too, before we got there, they had another kid. He was a teenager, and he had left. But yeah, things were pretty good until around I was like 9 years old. Me and my sister, we had different dads. My adoptive mother had told my little sister that they could just get another little girl because my adoptive mother, she's very demanding. They always say you're not supposed to push yourself onto a child. You're never supposed to push yourself onto a child. That's not how you'll gain a relationship with a child. You know, that's not how things will work. And I know that now that I'm a parent and I have my own child. You know, it takes time. You have to let the child warm up to you. But she would always try to have us call her mom and stuff like that. And my little sister, she just wasn't having it. Call her by her name, Lisa. I would too. And I'd get my ass whooped for it. And I get my ass whooped. I wasn't even adopted yet. Like, they ain't even like signed the papers or anything like that. Like, just get my ass whooped. But y'all. like gnats. I don't think they're moths. But yeah. Anyways, after my sister's dad had gotten her back, I was just left to them. I was left alone. Like, they changed their number. They moved on. I didn't see my sister for a really long time, and I had to go through the mental abuse and physical. Anyways, the next big part of my life was when I was 13, and I started middle school, and we moved from that nice ass house to like the hood in Salinas. Not really the hood, but it was like the burbs, like not even really middle class. It was like low middle class, like, you know. We moved over there to Santa Rita, Salinas, like that neighborhood. I met like all my homies out there. I met Jakar, I met D-Lo, all Shanice, all my friends, like my childhood friends. I ended up bumping into family. Like, it was gonna happen either way because I was still in the same city, you know, I was born in. So I'd see my family and stuff like that, and I was going to school with my cousins. I started getting really excited about that. Like, I was getting in contact with my dad's side of the family, which was very limited to me, like I was saying, because of my grandmother. But yeah, fucking my adoptive mother decided that she didn't like that, and she moved us all the way to Lawton, Oklahoma. All the way to Lawton, Oklahoma, so I wouldn't be able to have any contact really with them or anything like that. I was very limited on social media, stuff like that. I wasn't able to really to do any of that stuff. And back then, you know, MySpace was really big and stuff like that. If I did, I'd get in trouble. One cool thing was she let me visit all of them before we left. Got to see my little sister again, and I got to see all my siblings on my dad's side, which is really cool. And then we moved, and things got worse. I'm gonna try to explain the best I can of some of the things that my adopted mother would put me through. If you know anyone that's manipulative, you would understand. It's more of like mind games. For example, say that I came home, right? Came home from school, and my job after school was to have the house clean. That was my duty since I was in the house. My after school, from elementary all the way to like into high school, was to have the house clean before they got off of work. Whenever I got off of school, I'd clean the house. The house would be clean, mopped, everything. I was doing stuff like that, like 8 years old, you know. I'd miss one speck on a dish or something, you know. And she'd raise her hand at me, so I'd flinch, you know. And because I have morals, I'm not gonna hit a woman. I'm not gonna strike back someone, you know, a elder figure. I'm not that type of person. I've never been that type of person. But yeah, she would she'd mock me, things that I had no control over, like my features. Mind you too, the family that adopted me was multi-ethnic, so it was a mixed family. My adoptive mother was Mexican and my adoptive father was black. Me, myself, I'm Japanese, black, Cuban, and native. Um, so I felt like it kind of worked as a child, because, like, no one would really question whenever we'd be out in public unless my adoptive sibling, my foster siblings was with us, and they were all Mexican, you know. And whenever I go out in public, I get a lot of weird looks, stuff like that. That's another reason I feel like I was different. But yeah, she'd mock me by she called me Eeyore. She'd poke out her lip like this and flare her nose and go but, cause I'd stutter whenever I get scared. So she'd go but. So whenever I was young, it was so to the point that I wouldn't want to go outside because I was so ashamed of just my features being black. I was just ashamed, like, I felt different, felt outcast. I wish I could stick in, just be normal and fit in with the rest of society who has, like, their parents, and you can look at their face and, dang, yeah, he looks just like his dad, or yeah, he got, his mom's nose, or, something like that. So I was very self-conscious of myself. I beat myself, like, not beat myself up literally, but like in my mind, I beat myself up over that shit. And yeah, she'd do shit like that, or like she'd tell me, that nobody wanted me. That's why, that's why I was adopted. None of my family wanted me, which later on in life I found out was false. Very, very crazy. Come to find out, when you become a foster parent, you're getting paid by the state. And also, too, my father, my biological father, when he passed, he had his will, and he's also paying child support on me whenever I was a child. So she's getting paid off of that too. My father, he was a construction worker, so he made a lot of money. Like, he didn't have a job under $25 an hour, put it that way. So she's making bank. She built a career off my father, pretty much. She has a career and everything. Anyways, I went through all that stuff, from being repeatedly kicked out after I was 16, coming back home, getting kicked out, stupid shit. Came to a point when I turned 18, I got kicked out, and I was on the streets. I was like homeless. I was homeless at 18. Wasn't even done with high school or anything. And yeah, shit. Ended up having my daughter. My daughter was born, and it kind of just gave me a purpose. I really didn't feel like I had a purpose before. I was just like, I felt like a soul just floating, like a soul with flesh over it, just wandering around, doing whatever, That's how I felt, really. But yeah, that's pretty much like my story. That's what I went through. Dang, but I'm gonna end this video. These gnats are going fucking mania right now. But yep, YouTube, I'm done for the night. Hit you guys back tomorrow with a new topic.